This video contains hypnosis elements. Do not watch while driving, operating heavy machinery, flying a fighter jet, or stealing a nuclear submarine. Do not watch if you are allergic to hypnosis. Know your limits and view responsibly. I think we're ready to get started here. We're able to get some tea and some of the cucumber sandwiches. All right, want to be fueled up for the adventure. And in this session, we're going to be playing the Octopussy adventure. Wouldn't want to run afoul of the YouTube guidelines. So this is a pre-made adventure for the James Bond RPG, and I just want to set some expectations off the bat, really just some guidelines to help you out. While this definitely is inspired by and draws from the film Octopussy, the adventure has been changed so that you don't know exactly how it's going to play out. Want to make sure that you don't bring assumptions from the movie for how characters are going to act and their motives and the events of the story. Definitely going to hit some familiar things from the film, but it all plays out a bit differently. And then I've also made some changes of my own to tweak things a little bit according to my liking. All right, so with that said, let's get moving here. You were able to get your character set up, no problem, right? Okay, great. Did you need a character record sheet? Because I have some of the actual printed ones. Okay, well, why don't I peel off a couple for you just in case. Those as needed. If you have a particularly unheroic death and need to replace your current agent or whatnot. Okay, and then let's crack into this top secret for your eyes only envelope, which for now is for my eyes only. Some secret documents we'll need over the course of play here. Slide these out, and I'm just going to grab a couple key pieces here. Should do it. Place these back in the classified envelope. So we need them later. Okay. So one last thing before we dive into the adventure. I have some reading material here for you. It's been a slower month in terms of operations on Her Majesty's Secret Service, so the day-to-day life of a 00 is less jet-setting and carousing and more learning about actual operations and moves of adversary nations. So we have this report on the miniaturized nuclear detonator. It's happening in the United States. And some jet belts, potential Soviet missile plans that have been stolen. So concerns about their ultimate counter-strike weapon. So go ahead and familiarize yourselves with the contents of that briefing. Important to know everything that's going on. All right. So the actual mission is going to begin with a visit to M's office. You have been summoned fairly early in the morning to meet with him on an unknown topic. So we will pick things up there. All right. We'll start off with your entry into M's office. As you walk in, M is sitting at his desk as per usual, but there is another older gentleman present. Your read is civilian rather than military, but M greets you. Good morning, 00. Oh? Oh? Oh. Well, I've called you in because an unusual matter has come to our attention. This is Dr. Fanning. He's a jewelry expert who consults for Her Majesty's government, and he has highlighted a somewhat unusual occurrence that is happening tomorrow evening. Are you familiar with the Fabergé eggs? Pretty good. You've always been the sharpest tack in a box of very dull tacks. At this point, Dr. Fanning steps in. Well, you said it pretty well. The eggs were made by Carl Fabergé for the last Tsar of Russia before the revolution. One of them is being put up for auction at Sotheby's. Now, this is very unusual to see a Tsarist treasure leaving the Soviet Union. Obviously, their relationship with the former aristocracy is not ideal. So the fact that they are selling off one of these treasures, which have been so rarely seen outside of the Soviet Union, is highly irregular. This egg marked property of a lady at the auction is likely to go for around £400,000, but we want to take note of any high bidders. And here M jumps back in. Anyone who bids over £350,000 should be taken note of and photographed by one of your team. Dr. Fanning continues. The stated reasons is that There is a Soviet program called Giving Art for Art's Sake, meant to raise money for youth programs in the Soviet Union. Anything like this tends to be fairly peculiar, and I am fairly certain the Soviets are up to something. I think we should at least identify who is interested in this egg and see what more we can learn. My assistant, James Masterton, will be at the auction tomorrow to walk you through the procedures and help you in your mission. He, of course, does not know anything about the other motives we have for investigating the egg. I wish you luck. With that, he gives a nod and exits the office, leaving you with M. Well, there you have it. This is a fairly straightforward thing. Let's identify who's interested in the egg and find out what we can from them. I do want you to report directly to me and only to me on this. Bid up the egg, see who purchases it, and follow them to learn what more you can. It's a good question. Something has caught our eye. There is a Kamal Khan who resides in India, who a number of years back was flagged as likely a Soviet agent. We really don't know anything about him or the person who seems to be his employer, Octopussy, who I think you've crossed paths with in some form. We know basically nothing of their organization, but the Soviet tie is concerning. He has arrived in the United Kingdom, intending to bid on the egg for Octopussy. So, given the Soviet linkage, I am concerned. Bid up the egg, get those photographs, and follow as needed to learn more. Don't report to me unless you have something interesting. And good Lord, whatever you do, don't buy the egg. You'll see Q after this, who has an exact duplicate. Your goal will be to swap the eggs at the auction. It has a listening device in it, which should tell us more about whoever takes the egg. We have here a picture of Kamal Khan, so you can keep your eyes out for him at the auction. If he obtains it and heads back to Udaipur, you should definitely follow immediately. You will need your invitation to get into the auction. So he said James Masterton will meet you there. Oh, and one more thing. I'm afraid something bad happened to a clown. 009 stumbled into the Berlin embassy with a knife in his back. He was dressed as a circus clown. Why? We have absolutely no idea. But this was in his hand when he died. You can see why there seems to be more to this story. You have your mission. This is a simple one, so no foolishness. Get the job done Get me more info on that egg. Now, get yourself off to CQ. I'll give you the replacement egg. Good day, 000. See the guitar, the chakram, shuriken, nunchaku, yeah. Say, 000, have you ever driven the Pontiac 6000 STE, the special touring edition? It's got 135 horsepower, 2.8 liter V6. Sounds like Pontiac's willing to give us a much better deal than Aston Martin, so thinking about making the swap. Yes, alright. Oh, do put that down. 000. It's more dangerous than you would ever know. Well, you have the egg there. And the beautiful thing about that counterfeit is that I have placed a small listening device inside of it. It's fairly short range, a few hundred yards maybe, but it uses a new frequency hopping system, so it's unlikely to be picked up by conventional bug detection scans. I will give you this pen, which is an ordinary pen, but after you deploy and retract the writing tip, if you then press down, it will provide the auditory output from the microphone in the egg, so should help you in tracking whoever ends up with it. That is, if you're able to make the switch. I'll give you that pen. And then I have another special gadget for you. This watch. No. It is a GMT watch, which allows you to track more than one time zone. It seems M has gotten rather fed up with you ringing him up in the middle of the night and would like you to have a way to keep time across time zones so you can avoid doing that in the future. So it has this arrow-headed 24-hour hand, which I have set to dear old Blighty here, so you'll know what hour of the night it is here in London with M. And then if we unscrew the crown and pull it out, you'll be able to adjust the handset to your local time on your travels, and thus you'll be quite well informed as to the time zone you are in and the one back here in London. But wait, there's more. By rotating the bezel, there's a 24-hour bezel, and you could align this with a third time zone, say to wherever your latest tawdry hookup is in Houston or whatever, and so you'll be able to call her when her husband isn't home. So I will give you this watch now. Really, you're a 00. You are so easy to break. If you tap the crown twice and then hold, the 24-hour hand turns into a Geiger counter. So you will be able to measure the radiation at your present location. If the hand points to the 1, there is no radiation. And if it points to 12, that is an instantly lethal dose. So you can take that. What do you mean it's at 10? Oh, that's the microwave in the kitchen. It's been acting up. I'll get it fixed soon. All right, 000. Be on your way. You climb into the gorgeous Aston Martin DB5, settling yourself into the beautifully hand-stitched, soft leather seats. You pull on your driving gloves. Put on your sunglasses. You grip the wooden wheel in your hands. You turn the ignition and fire up that 4-liter straight 6 engine. You have a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes, and it is a good day to die. You press your foot to the accelerator and head out for a nice drive in the country. A little bit of spring rain has added some glistening raindrops on the trees and grass. You feel the wheel in your hands as you easily carve along the sinuous curves of the road. An extra throaty roar from the engine thanks to the updated camshafts and 3 Weber carburetors, one of the many mods Q has added to the vehicle. You make your way along the road, enjoying the thrill of driving, that seductive roar of the engine, and those to die for curves of the sheet metal. But you do notice there's a car coming up behind you in the rear view mirror. A dark Chevy Caprice. Capricious intent? Unclear. But you're driving in a sprightly manner and they are catching up to you as they pull up behind you. You can see in the rearview mirror he's gotten quite close, and you suddenly hear the engine roar and the car surge forward. Driver seems to have a maniacal look on his face, and do you see a flash of steel like a gun in the car? Well, you, my friend, if you want to get away, okay, you're concerned, all right, well then we are in a chase. All right, let's review the rules for the chase, since I don't think we've ever done one. So what's going to happen is first we're going to bid on who goes first, but the bid is going to be the ease factor for your roll. We'll start at 7 and go down. So if you bid 5, you would make your maneuver roll with an ease factor of 5, plus any modifiers. The winning bidder will choose which side goes first. That side will perform any maneuvers, then the second side will perform their maneuvers. You can fire if desired after a maneuver. If you fail, you'll have to make a mishap roll, and we'll use the safety factor of the maneuver there as the ease factor. And if you bid under your red line, then you have a mishap no matter what. Or you have to make a mishap roll no matter what, excuse me. Alright, so we'll walk through it. He is on your tail. We're starting at close range. So bidding starts at 7. You'll go 5. Okay, the Chevy's going to bid 4. Alright, and you'll bid 3. Alright, you're leaning into the performance advantage of your sports car. So you'll win the bidding. Who wants to go first? You'll go first. Okay, and what maneuver? Can, in this case, flee. There's 4, so you try to push someone off the road, double back, or do a trick like a jump, for instance. Okay, pursue. I'm sorry. Okay, flee. So you're just going to put the pedal to the metal, listen to that beautiful engine roar, and try to outpace this much heavier vehicle. It's a smart play, alright? So you bid 3. There's been some rain, so the road's wet, but then you know these roads, so that's going to cancel out. And the Aston Martin has a performance factor of 2, so that adds +2 to your roll. So you're going to be rolling your driving skill with an ease factor of 5 for the final roll, okay? Alright. So you got a quality rating of 4. That's going to extend your range by 1, so you're pulling away from the Chevy. And is that all? Okay. Well, he seems pretty determined to get you with that look on his face. And that bid, he has bid below red lines. There's going to be a mishap no matter what. So he stomps his foot on the pedal, attempting to pursue you. The roar of that American V8, the pinnacle of Detroit engineering, making around 150 horsepower for a 4,000-pound car. Basically a one-vehicle gas crisis on your tail here. Let's roll. Okay, oh, nice. So he is able to close that range back up to close, but he does have to do the mishap roll due to bidding under his red line. Ooh, that's a little rough. Okay. So, takes some medium damage, which is gonna... Alright. So he's roaring up behind you, but then you see a puff of smoke, and smoke starts coming out of under the hood of that Chevy Caprice. He must have thrown a rod, though he was charging up behind you. Start to see your car really outpacing him. As this is slowing down significantly, he's going to take a pot shot at you. You see him stick a revolver out the window. I doubt he can do much here, but yeah, okay. He takes a shot and misses you, but you're able to drive off to safety. You enter the auction hall at Sotheby's. It is an ornate room with exquisite artworks on the wall, some for sale, some for decoration. Your keen eye for these things lets you know that they are originals. And as you enter, a large man approaches you. I'm James Masterton, and I believe I am to render you some assistance in the matter of the auction. You greet him. Yes, I'm an expert in jewelry and the process of auction. Just a lovely day today. Did you get out on the links at all? Well, a fine day for golf. Wonderful, wonderful day for golf. What a sport. Anyway, the matter at hand. Are you telling him anything about why you're there? Obviously, he knows he's to help you with the egg, but okay. Yes, I'm happy to render assistance. So we're going to go ahead and do a roll to see his disposition towards you. Alright, so let's do a reaction roll. Ease factor of 5. Okay. Quality rating of 2. Okay. Yes, well, very interesting auction today. Yes, Fabergé egg. Well, I'll let you in on a little secret. The most important thing is to betray no emotion whatsoever during the bidding. Don't want to give any clues to any rival bidders for the item. Try to be as subtle as possible when making your bid so as not to attract attention. As I say, the whole thing used to be a lot more open, but more secretive these days. So, always appreciate a good bit of skullduggery. Yes. All right. Well, let's be seated. Okay. So he escorts you into the auction area. In the hall, there's a variety of seating at the back for the general audience, but the key bidders are going to be sitting at 3 tables in a U shape in front of the auctioneer, Peter Miller. He'll be up on a podium. There will be some display tables for artifacts. And then, of course, there's a back room where the items are prepared before being brought out to be bid on. I'll just go ahead and let you see that layout where you'll be seated. These tables. The auctioneer will be here. There's a secretary and some accountants who handle the money when it comes to the bidding. So, as you get settled, the auction will begin. Did you have any other questions for Masterton before the bidding starts? Okay, perfect. All right. So you have a chance to see some bidding firsthand before the egg with a casket of magnificent jewels that was up for auction. And it sold at £150,000 after a couple bidders attempted to obtain it. Now, Peter Miller announces property of a lady, a Fabergé egg, and a little wooden casket is brought out, just large enough to hold the egg resting on some green velvet. And it looks just like the photo you have seen and Q's fake version of the egg. However, in person it is quite extraordinary to see, extremely finely detailed with glittering gems all over it. Now they are going to pass that casket around the tables with the bidders so folks can have a quick look to decide if they will bid. So the casket starts around the table as the auctioneer reads a little more about the egg. A superb green gold imperial Easter egg by Carl Fabergé, enameled in translucent green, enclosed by gold laurel leaf tresses set with blue sapphire, and 4 petaled gold flowers with diamonds, topped by a circlet of sapphires. So you note the presence of Kamal Khan as the egg auction is kicking off. He is a familiar face, and sitting with him is a striking looking woman. So as the egg gets to you, what do you intend to do? Okay, you are going to try and make the swap here at the table. Okay. Well, that's very exciting. You'll just have a moment with the egg. So, you have the duplicate egg. Okay. We're going to do a dexterity roll with an ease factor of 10 for you to attempt the swap, okay? Alright. Okay, go ahead and give me your roll. And your quality rating from that was a 2. Okay. Alright, and then I'm going to roll just to see if some people notice. Most are not paying close attention, but this sleight of hand could be spotted, especially by Kamal Khan, who seems like a savvy operator. Okay, with a deft movement, you swap the eggs, and as far as you can tell, no one has noticed your swap. Mr. Masterton appears fairly oblivious to what you have just done. So the dummy egg made by Q is now on the casket, making its way around the rest of the table, and you have in your possession the genuine Fabergé egg. All right. So let's go ahead and begin the bidding on the egg. Bidding for this magnificent Fabergé egg will begin at 100,000 pounds. 100,000 pounds to the gentleman. 150,000 pounds over here to the lady. 200,000 pounds to the gentleman. Do I have 250,000 pounds? That looked like a bid. We have 250,000. Alright, you are in on the action now. You sense maybe that Kamal Khan's eyebrow went up just a little bit, and maybe a side glance from the woman with him. 300,000 for the gentleman here. Do I have 350,000? 350,000. 375,000. 400,000 pounds for the egg. Will the gentleman here take it for 400,000 pounds? Masterton is looking at you wide-eyed, quite surprised that you have bid this high. If I have no other bids, we'll be going with 400,000 and 450,000. It appears Kamal Khan has bid up the egg. Do you wish to bid again? Right. 450,000 pounds. Going once. Going twice. Sold to this gentleman. Property of lady, the Fabergé egg, 450,000 pounds. Now, our next item. Alright, so you have bid the egg up, and Kamal Khan purchased it for $450,000 and will be taking home your egg with the listening device in it. Right, very smoothly handled. Alright, Kamal Khan leaves now that he has obtained the egg. What would you like to do? You'll go ahead and follow him out. And are you going to attempt to follow him? Okay, you're going to let him go and use the listening device. Okay. If you're not going to follow him, I think we can play things fairly straightforward here. He goes back to his hotel, which you infer by listening with your device. You're able to tune in to the conversation that he has with his assistant, Govinda. And you hear that now that they have successfully obtained the egg, they are going to head back to Udaipur, where he is from. Alright, so if you like, you could make your way there as well to keep on the trail. Alright, well, let's get you to the airport then, and we will get you to India. You arrive at the Monsoon Palace, an exquisite hotel overlooking the lake that Sadruddin has referred you to. You approach the registration desk and the man at the counter greets you. Good day and welcome to the Monsoon Palace. Will you be staying with us? Lovely. Is there a name for the reservation? Okay. Yes. And if I could just see your passport. Get you entered into the book here. And it looks like your reservation is for several nights, 7 days, is that correct? Very well, just let us know. There you are. And do you have a major credit card that we could put on file in case of incidental charges? Say American Express or a Diners Club card. Wonderful. And is this your first time visiting the City of Dreams, the Venice of the East, as some call it, thanks to the beautiful lakes that we have here? I see. Well, I would be happy to help you get acquainted. We have some wonderful facilities here at the hotel. Our water sports, poolside. You could arrange for shopping and dining trips if you desire. Of course, have dancing in the evenings at the restaurant. Yes. There are a couple other places we recommend for food if you need. There's the Quality Restaurant and Berries. And what about sightseeing? Would you like me to arrange some tours for you? The Udaipur area is incredible. Its various lakes. There are so many old palaces. This lake itself was actually man-made in the 14th century. Quite extraordinary. Very well. If you should change your mind, of course, happy to accommodate you and arrange for you to see some of the incredible treasures we have in the region here. I will note there is gambling at the club here at the hotel. You do have to be a member. However, while you are booked as a guest of the hotel, you have a membership to the club. It's typically fairly quiet over there, but of late in the evenings there's been a bit more action if you want to get involved. In the area is also the Oberoi Shikar Body. It is a very luxurious hunting lodge. If you're interested in the thrill of the chase, you might want to have a visit. Right, well, the porter will help you with your bags. Is there anything else I can assist you with? If not, I wish you a pleasant stay. Please let us know if there's anything we can do to make your stay better. And I hope you have a wonderful evening. You see Kamal Khan playing chemin de fer He seems to be winning a great deal of money. Luck is on his side, it appears. You want to approach and play. Okay. You walk over to the table and he notes your arrival. Ah, a familiar face, though not one I find agreeable. You're a connoisseur of eggs, as I recall. Yes, well, your bidding displeased me. Perhaps you would care to test that luck, the game of cards. Well, he's currently banking the table. Do you want to go ahead and challenge him? Bonko. Alright, so you will play Kamal Khan solo. Alright. He puts up a rather intimidating stake, pushing hundreds of thousands of dollars in chips in front of you. You're going to put up the money, okay. And what's your gambling rating? Okay. So the first roll will determine your first two cards, and you're going to roll with an ease factor of 5, okay? Alright. Okay. Alright, so let's have a look at the first hand. Kamal checks his cards as well. Now, if you have a 5, you have the option to draw, or anything 5 or below you'll draw. So, okay, you'll be drawing a third card. Very well. So, with the third card, you're going to make another gambling roll, and we'll check the quality ratings to see who wins. So why don't you go ahead and make that roll? Again, ease factor 5. So, with your third card, you have a total of 7. Kamal has stood on his 6. Your second quality roll combined ends with a final quality rating of 2, which beat his 3. Your 7 beats his 6. And the pot is yours. A very bold and lucky move. You see the intense displeasure on Kamal's face as he surrenders the shoe to the next player. I suppose now is a good time to take refreshment. What can I get ye? Well, if you put vodka next to martini, it ain't no longer a martini now, is it? And you want me to shake clear spirits? You, sir, are no connoisseur, no gentleman, and ye have no honor. I'll make ye a Rob Roy, and not anything else. That's a drink suited for a warrior, such as could cut Tim Roth damn near in half with fine Scottish steel. And what's all this namby-pamby PPK business? If the likes of you are who's defending empire, then I suspect before too long we'll be making an exit from the world stage. I've got monkey shoulder, a fine blend, better than a donkey's arse, as I often say. Let's get you a couple ounces. We'll need some vermouth also. And of course, a splash of Angostura bitters, or as we like to call them in these parts, Angostura. Lovely fragrance. Let me stir that up for you. Strainer. And let's pour you a proper cocktail. A cherry. Nay, I have none, though. I suspected you'd be the type who'd want one. Why don't you drink up now? Alright, you're able to peek through the keyhole, and you see Kamal and General Orlov standing at a table filled with treasures and jewels. Orlov is examining one of the gems. Yes, I have to admit, it is quite exquisite. I am impressed. You hear a door down the corridor from where you're located. What do you do? Okay. All right. Okay, so you're going to duck back into the supply room. Okay, there you can hear the footsteps coming down the corridor, but I think you could do that without much trouble to get back out of the hallway. And the footsteps do walk past the closet that you've hidden in. You of course have lost sight of Orlov and Kamal in this. You want to try listening to the egg. Okay, so you have your pen. Alright, so you click your pen and activate the listening device, and you hear a conversation. It's a little bit crackly, but you hear, sounds like Orlov and Kamal are still talking. When will it explode? It is scheduled to detonate exactly 20 minutes after its appearance. You mean it will actually be visible? Certainly. It will add to the uniqueness of our circus. Remember, there is only one thing which makes this circus unique, and we must play it to its hilt. Besides, think how artistic it all is. That which makes Octopussy Circus unique will also make you unique. Yes, I see that. But when exactly will it appear? My dear General, use your head. I've just mentioned the uniqueness of our circus. What is it that makes our show unique? What separates it from the rest? Oh, yes. Da. Very clever. How unique it will be then. But then the circus will be linked to the explosion. Nonsense, my good General. There will be no one alive to tell what happened. And with the proof you will have, the only possible source of blame will be the American CIA. Who else could bring a neutron bomb into Yugoslavia? A toast, my excellent comrade. A toast, indeed. Okay. You think they might be leaving that room, so what do you intend to do next? Sadruddin enters Q's area, and you kind of catch him up quickly on what has happened since he last saw you. So you saw this octopus with a tattoo? Or you have a drawing of it? Did you do this? This is a rather exquisite rendering. Yeah. Oh, it was blue. Blue, okay. I think I do know this symbol then. It's used to be on an old pirate flag in these waters, meant to scare folks. It's been adopted by Octopussy, who lives out in the palace out on the lake. It could be worth further investigation. It's filled with basically an army of beautiful women. Yeah, if you'd be interested to check it out at all, I don't know. Okay. Well, I believe that Q has a very special disguise ready to go for you. Okay, so it is nighttime. Sadruddin has you out in a boat, not too close to Octopussy's palace so as to avoid drawing any attention. But you suit up in the alligator costume, so you'll be able to make your approach to the palace. Alright, so for this will be a disguise check. So you have Q's help for this. Let's go ahead. We'll do an ease factor of 6 here for your disguise roll, okay? Alright. So a quality rating of 3, okay. Alright, so you're all set to go as a crocodile. Sadruddin helps you into the water and you begin your approach to the palace. Now, with your somewhat limited field of view, you note that there are some guards up on the wall, so of course you're going to have to hope your disguise can fool them. I'm just going to do check here. Yeah, the quality rating of your disguise is used as their ease factor for their perception check. Okay. Right, so one of the guards looks your way and kind of takes a hard look at the disguise, or at this crocodile drifting in the water, but does not sound the alarm, so I think maybe you have fooled them with the Q's expert monster costume making skills. Alright, so you're able to make land on the palace island. Alright, so you have gained access to octopus-size bedroom. It is quite an exquisite room on the first floor of the palace. A mix of British and Indian decorations. There are paintings and portraits on the walls. Indian carpets cover the ornate wood flooring, and a rather magnificent carved bed. The things in the room seem quite ordinary, except there is a small dossier marked Kamal. Now you want to check it out. Well, in it you find some rather elaborate facts and figures, but a very clear description of a plan to steal some jewels. And it is at this moment that Octopus Sigh comes in. Ah yes, I thought I would find you here. No, I won't sound the alarm. You may not realize, but you did me a great courtesy a number of years ago. Yes, you were sent to kill my father in Jamaica. He had betrayed his country for the lure of gold in the waning days of World War II. Yes, I know you attempted to bring him home, but I understand that you gave him a chance to go with dignity. Yes, I guess it was an octopus that got him in the end, but I thank you for the kindness you showed for his reputation. And so what brings you to intrude upon my lavish bedroom? Okay, you want to attempt a seduction. Alright. Well, you've had an initial encounter, so what we're going to do is the opening line we do a skill roll. Because we're on the opening line, why don't you kind of give me something to work with to sort of set the tone here. That's your opening line. That's cool you like octopi, because I'd love to wrap my tentacles around you. Okay. This will be Ease Factor 7 for the roll then. Yeah. Needless to say, your seduction attempt was unsuccessful. Double O. Oh, I am so glad you brought me along. I never get to go on operations. I'm always stuck in the laboratory. This is quite exciting. Well, 000, it looks like I have anticipated the winds correctly, and we are successfully making our approach to Octopus Size Palace. Though I don't know how you do this, the food that you eat. I mean, a stomach full of oysters and whiskey. It's really quite bad for you. You need to think of yourself more as an athlete. That's definitely going to affect your performance, probably in more than one area. Now for me, going into something like this, I have a crudité of vegetables, some carrot, tomato, radish, heart of artichoke, dressed in olive oil and sea salt, 250 grams of a grilled fish like a sole or swordfish, along with some baked spinach and a scrambled egg, and for a touch of sweetness, a lemon sorbet. Provides a nice amount of protein and some healthy vegetables without dulling the brain and slowing the body's functions. Well, it's good enough for Ayrton Senna. It ought to be good enough for you. This is why England can't win the World Cup anymore. Players feasting on fillet beefsteaks and standing around like lumbering trees while short Argentinians run circles around them. It's a disgrace, really. Modern food science would help so much. But I digress. The matter at hand is like something out of Shakespeare. I will tread this unbolted villain into mortar and daub the walls of a Jakes with him. No, no, bis domine, domine, no, no, bis domine. Right, I'll be quiet. Operational security, I get it. We're almost there. Operations are fun. So it looks like you may have gotten the upper hand on Gobinda. So why don't you tell me what you intend to do? Alright, so that'll be a hand-to-hand combat roll then. Okay, that's a pretty good roll. Take a look at our wound level chart for Gobinda. You want to spend a hero point to shift that up to a quality rating of 1. Okay, very nice play. Well then, with the saw, you actually kill Gobinda. It's pretty gruesome, but you take care of a very dangerous opponent. And with him out of the way, it seems the team has otherwise secured the palace, and unfortunately, it looks like Octopussy and her lieutenants have already left to join the circus in Europe. Alright, you're going to pursue them there? Sounds good. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We've begun our descent into Berlin Tegel Airport and should have you on the ground in just a few minutes. I will remind you that Berlin is the city of spies, so you are likely to be watched at all times, so plan your activities accordingly. We thank you for flying with us as always. Hope you've had a pleasant flight, and we'll have you on the ground in this extremely dangerous city before too long. Thank you. I must confess, 000, you had me worried there for a minute when you didn't check in sooner. Yes, I agree, it's quite concerning. If they have possession of a miniaturized neutron bomb, it creates a lot of trouble for us. We thought maybe the plans had been stolen. I think this confirms it. No way their scientists could have managed it yet. Well, the Prime Minister is definitely concerned, but without more specific intel, we can't really sound the word. It'll create widespread panic. Though if you can't run down more details soon, we might have to. This is a deeply concerning matter. I agree the circus is the best bet, especially given what happened with 009 and the connection to this Octopussy, who you think is perhaps not involved with the bomb. Yes, still suspicious, given Kamal Khan works for her. Well, I do have the circus itinerary. I obtained it as you highlighted they might be of interest. Yes. Looks like they'll be heading for Belgrade soon. I suggest you try and intercept them and learn what you can. And I'll start making preparations for the worst. It is a crisp, cool, cloudy morning. A fog lies over the countryside. It is the perfect sort of morning for Soviet tanks to roll across the border, knowing that the weather conditions would negate some of the air power advantages of NATO forces. Or, given that America's had such an incredible commitment to scientific expertise and developed highly sophisticated sensors and tactics, would the Soviets be better off going in daylight when their less trained units and their less sophisticated air assets would be fully operational? Maybe it's to their advantage to go on a nicer day. It is at this point that you really wish you had paid more attention to those intelligence briefings you get back at the office. Nevertheless, you are on the trail of the circus train. Pedal to the metal, yeah. Right, well, in this chase scenario, the train can only flee, but are you going on the rails to follow it? Okay. And this is not an on-the-rails adventure. I just want to be clear. You have a lot of freedom here. Okay. So you're going up on the rails. Why don't you go ahead? We're going to do a safety roll to check for a mishap. And I'm going to knock 3 off of that for it being on the rail. So why don't you use an ease factor of 2 to give me that roll? Okay, good. The Mercedes is up to the task, and you're a skilled driver in these intense situations. So you're closing in on the rear of the train. You're going to try to jump aboard. Okay. And are you going to try and target a specific car on the train? Alright, just the caboose, the end car there. Okay. Alright, so the way we're gonna do this, you're not currently contested, no one has spotted you. We're gonna do 2 rolls. The first is just whether you can get aboard the train with the move you're going to attempt. How are you going to do it? Okay, so you're going to kind of open the door and get your foot up on the sill there and then leap over. Car's going to go off the tracks and explode dramatically. Okay. So we're going to roll to get you to make that jump off the car. The primary chance will be your strength plus dex divided by 2. Okay. And with an ease factor, let's see, since you're the one driving, okay, we're going to do it with an ease factor of 2. So strength plus dex divided by 2 and times 2. Okay. Alright, let's go ahead and make the roll. Got the door open, your car's vibrating as it goes along the rails, hitting the various joints. You're pulling up alongside, and okay, great. You make the leap. You get a hand on a ladder there at the back, and you're reaching for a railing there on the end car. Okay. Now, the second roll is going to determine how solid of a grip you got. And we'll go kind of based on that for what happens. Alright, so same formula, strength plus dex over 2, and then times 2 for the ease factor that we're using here. And go ahead and give me that roll. A 2? Okay, that's a pretty, raising the quality rating for the nature of your hold, so that's pretty good. I think you're going to be able to hold on solidly and no issues. And you'll be able to climb on board the train. Or as you do, you see the door open. say that was rather impressively done. It's a clever way to get the best of Misha and Grisha. You know, I imagine when you decided to become a secret agent that you didn't expect to have to fight two knife-throwing circus people. But actually that was quite common during the Cold War. With Misha and Grisha out of the way, you make your way forward to the first class carriage at the front of the train, where you suspect you will find who you're looking for. Ah, yes, I've been expecting you. I had a feeling you'd want to join the festivities. Misha and Grisha are normally so reliable in dealing with interlopers, so fair play to you, you must be quite capable. Yes, I'm happy to fill you in. I see you're quite savvy, but I'm afraid it's all for naught. Sleep. I offer you an invitation to sleep and easy. You see, I've created this recording which will take you down into a deep sleep. You and all the guards, all the troops on that bed will be cast into a deep slumber. You cannot avoid falling asleep. And the more you hear recording, the deeper into sleep you will go. You see, all of this subterfuge, these complicated plans to try to sneak the bomb onto the base, I realize to be far less complicated if everyone who would stop us was simply asleep, and in a deep sleep, one where they continue falling deeper into sleep the longer they listen, going from a 10 where they are not fully asleep, down to 1 where they are completely asleep. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, being completely asleep. And you cannot resist. The more you try to resist, the stronger the effect and the deeper you will fall. And if you open yourself up to sleep, then you will fall even deeper into a state of slumber, somnolence overtaking and giving way to sleep. You cannot avoid it. Only those who have been inoculated with my auditory trigger can resist the sleep. Those who have not fall deeper into sleep the more they listen. So go ahead and make a willpower roll against this recording. Be an ease factor of 1 due to the strong hypnotic nature. Okay, that is a significant failure. So I am afraid that you were not able to resist the lure of the recording, and you fall into a deep sleep. Your eyes getting heavy now. So heavy. Yes, the more you resist, the deeper you fall. And if you give in, you fall even deeper. You might call it a catch-22, but Or a catch 00. Yes, I've known you were on Her Majesty's Secret Service for quite some time. You'll have to wonder, where did you slip up along the way, or did someone close to you betray you? Tell you what, why don't you sleep on it? And I think you'll be asleep for a very, very long time. Good night, Secret Agent Man.
6, deeper and deeper each count as you reach, falling deeper in sleep. 3, step a restful. 2, fulfilling 10, slumber. 1, and you are now so even deeper in a state so deep now. 8, your body as you go deeper, the sleepiness is overcoming you. 5, 20, allowing yourself to fall ever deeper into sleep. Restful, peaceful, sleep, 15, deeper and deeper, and you welcome this feeling, 10, 12, for it is a blissful feeling, 8, as you plunge deep into sleep, 9, 6, falling so deep as I count down, 7, 10, 6, 9, 5, 8, 4, and as you fall, 3, 6, 2, 5, easy to fall even deeper, 3, as you go deeper, 2, countdown, 1, and each countdown that brings you deeper also brings you to another countdown, 27, and that countdown takes you deeper, 25, bringing you to another countdown, going deeper, 23, and deeper, 22, and deeper, you breathe, and so deep into sleep, at a relax, where you wish to be, and where you are happy to be, and 7, deep in sleep, 16, 10, 15, 9, steady, 8, 14, 7, a restful state, 6, breathing in, 5, and breathing out, 4, 11, 3, breathing in, 10, 2, 9, 1, 8, and as we go deeper into sleep, 7, the levels get farther and farther apart, 5, breathing in, each level far deeper than the last, 3, and each staircase longer, body longer, and each countdown and longer as well, makes it easy, 20 each to fall 19 into 18, and each countdown is longer, 16, and the longer the countdown, 15, the deep 14 into 13, 12, 11, 39, and 10, 38, 9, 37, 8, 36, 7, 35, 7, 5, 34, 4, 3, 33, 2, 4, 32, and it starts to feel like a loop, 30, the bottom of the staircase, taking you to the top of another staircase, but it is a comforting loop, and each strand of the loop grows longer, each staircase longer, each countdown longer, as you sleep longer and longer, and go deeper and deeper into slumber, each staircase an invitation to sleep more deeply, more comfortably, more restfully, 13, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 23, 17, and as 16 slows down, 15, the count and each 14 countdown is longer, 13, and the longer 12 countdown slower, 11 deeper, in you go, 10 to sleep, 9, 30, 58, 29, 47, 28, 46, 27, 45, 46, 4, 45, 44, 24, 43, 2, 23, 1, 22, 40, 39, 38, 90, 37, 36, 35, 34, 16, 33, 32, 32, 31, 30, 12, 30, 29, 11, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 23, 22, 20, 21, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 14, 11, 10, 9, 12, 8, 11, 7, 10, 6, 9, 5, 8, 4, 3, 7, 2, 6, 1. So deep now. 4, 3, 2,